Okay, we're getting ready. I'm obviously already ready, but this is going to be my intro to this video. So welcome to Real Talk. Let's get started. Okay, what was I saying? Oh, I was going to tell everyone how I started streaming. This is a weird story, and I'm not like the other girls. I want to die. That was so cringy. Anyways, okay, I was never going to be a streamer or a gamer. I did not expect that at all. I don't think anyone expected it. Anyone that knew me would not have guessed this in like a million years. Because even though I don't always seem on top of it now.
Oh, I was gonna show you guys. Okay, ready? Those are all the alarms I have.
I was so driven and like focused on the goal of like checking off all the boxes to become a doctor. That's what I wanted to do. That's all I ever wanted to do. And literally everything I did, pretty much, well, one was either for my parents' approval or to become a doctor, which would also grant me my parents' approval. But it's a little too real. But I did not foresee me becoming a gamer girl. But it happened because I had a long-term boyfriend who thou shalt not be named, and we're not together anymore. But I dated him for like 4 years, and in the last 8 months of us being together, we like lived together, and a motherfucker got diagnosed with cancer. I say it like that because he's fine. It's perfectly okay. But I do have a lot of resentment for the cancer that he got because I feel like that was really like what ended up killing our relationship. But at least he's fine. He's married. It's a crazy turn of events. None of my business though. But when he got cancer, when we lived together, I was in charge of taking care of him. And also, it was like around COVID time. So we couldn't really do anything or go anywhere. And so what he liked to do in his free time was play video games. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to start playing video games with you because why not? So basically my love for video games and everything started then. And then fast forward a few months, I was posting on TikTok. I was like just being creative. You know, I've really realized that I do have this creative side of me to make content. But I didn't realize it until I started posting on TikTok, and my TikTok was doing really well. It was all just really funny, like, clips, but it was all from, like, console gameplay and whatnot. That's besides the point. The point is I realized that I really liked playing video games, and it, like, made my brain happy. And then when my ex-boyfriend, when he was going through chemo, and then a bunch of things changed, he got a little angry, a little aggressive, never any, like, physical thing, but, like, we just were both so depressed, and we decided that it like wasn't working, and so we broke up. And so I was just like me alone living in a house, which is not really good when your whole life plans are just all up in the air, because not only that, I had just been diagnosed with celiac in January. We broke up in November, so less than a year since then, and I'd really been struggling with being depressed and eating and everything. And so really the only thing that I had was Apex at this time. And so I just continued to play and like throw myself into it, and I loved it. But I did not start streaming until August the year after. So between that point of us breaking up and me streaming, there's like a lot of things that happened. So in general, I started playing the game more and more. I got more competitive and I liked it and stuff. And I like met a bunch of friends and stuff, and they all like thought it was kind of funny. Which, you know, not to brag, I'm just kidding. But I liked making the content, I liked doing it, but I was still in school. I was still trying to be a doctor. I hadn't decided that I didn't want to do it. I knew that I wasn't liking it that much. Like, I always wanted to be a pediatric oncologist, but then having to go through that process with my ex, like, going through oncology and stuff, like, it just made me realize that, like, that was not what I wanted to do. Oh my god, I forgot to put concealer on. Ugh. Yeah. So I realized that that's not what I want to do. So then I was kind of panicked because I was enjoying Apex and like playing video games and making content. But that was never my life goal. That was just something that like I thought at the time that was just supposed to like get me through what I was going through. I mean, people use gaming for all sorts of things, and I was using it to get through things. And so I continued playing, and I was looking for other options for what I wanted to do with my life. And so I decided that I would apply to do research because I was like, well, what else can you do with a biochem degree? I don't know. You can do research. That's what you can do. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to apply to do research. You want to know where I applied to do research at? No other than Harvard. Why did I think that was a good idea? I don't know. It was actually a great time. So spoiler alert, I got in. And I went and lived in Boston my whole, like the year before my senior year, that whole summer. I went and I lived in Boston and I did research at Harvard to figure out if that's what I wanted to do with my life. Obviously, I'm sitting here doing a get ready with me. So that is not what I'm doing with my life. But it did go well. It was a really cool experience, and an experience that not a lot of people have. And I was very lucky to get to do that. And living in Boston was my first time not living at home, which was kind of weird, but I made my mom come and visit me halfway through the summer, like, if I'm being honest, like, but that's not important. But I lived in Boston all summer, and I was still playing Apex. Like, I would literally go during the day, and I'd be doing research at Harvard and doing all my, like, work and whatnot. And then I'd be coming home to the dorm, which did not have air conditioning. And this summer, it was so freaking hot. I would just sit there in the dorm, literally being a sweaty wraith. Like, I was just, like, sitting there sweating. Okay? I was just sitting there sweating. I would make content on TikTok, and I would just play the game. It's just what I did to relax. It became less of a coping mechanism then, and more so just, like, for fun for me. And so I really enjoyed that, and I got to experience a lot of things in Boston. I do regret not doing a few things, like going to see Elton John at Gillette. I didn't do that. It was expensive. I should have done it. But I did get to do a lot of cool things and see everything, and I actually got to go to one of the NBA Finals games. So I got to see the Celtics and the Golden State play, which my family are Golden State fans. But I also like Jason Tatum because he's from Missouri. So it was just a cool game to get to watch. And yeah, so like all summer I was in Boston, and I knew that when I got home that I was going to try to stream. I knew this because my sister and I had had a conversation like before I went to Boston and everything, and she was talking to me about content because that's what she does. She does like social media content, and she was talking to me about it, and she was like, Allie, like if you're gonna do this, like you might as well do it. She was like trying to convince my mom that it was like fine for me to just try it because my parents were really against it at the time. And so that conversation, one, lit a spark in me being like, I guess I could stream. Like, I've always joked about it, but I guess I could. And then I was just like, okay, well, if I don't like doing research, then I'm going to try to stream. So I got home in August, directly after, like, my trip, and I used the money that I made doing research at Harvard to buy a PC and a streaming setup. Well, that's not true entirely. First, I started streaming off of my Xbox because I was like, I don't know how I'm going to like that. So I got home. I started streaming. I started streaming off of my Xbox. So I had a little cam link that I connected, and I just started streaming off my Xbox. Those streams were ratchet. But it allowed me to realize that I did enjoy streaming. And so I decided to use the money that I got at Harvard doing research to buy a PC and do streaming from there. And so I started streaming in August. I still had to do my whole year of school until May, but from the time between August and me graduating, I was already partnered on Twitch, and I was making like enough money to like move out and pay rent and do like streaming things that I'm doing now, which is crazy. I never would have guessed in a million years that one, my Twitch would be as successful as it is. Like, not to like brag or anything, I genuinely was shocked. I didn't understand, like when people kept telling me, oh Allie, you're growing so fast, I didn't really understand that because I always thought that, like, I just assumed it was normal. And it took me a long time to realize, like, holy shit, like this is actually like working, and it's really fast. I didn't realize, like, because I didn't really watch Twitch that much. I rarely watch Twitch. Like, I watched Twitch some when I was like really depressed and not doing anything while my ex-boyfriend was like going through chemo and stuff. But I didn't really like watch Twitch all that much. I had never watched a creator grow for myself. And so going through that experience, like not having any expectations, one, I think helped a lot, but also like I think I like didn't realize how cool of an experience it was. But I like threw myself into streaming. Like, you guys know, like I stream almost every single day. I streamed every day but like 11 days that first year or something crazy. I love it. I still love it to this day. I'm starting to make this new content. But anyways, that's like the long-winded story of my ex-boyfriend got chemo. I got depressed. I decided I didn't want to go to medical school to be an oncologist, and I tried doing something else. Didn't work. I think I'm kind of just meant to be like making content. Well, I mean, we don't know how good I am at that yet. It's a trial and error process. But that's kind of my whole goal this year has been to like have a trial and error process. So we're trial and erroring like vlogging, and we're now trial and erroring getting ready with me's. I want to do these like get readies and have like more like real conversations, or just like things that you wouldn't know about me, or like just things to talk about. But we're gonna be trying a whole lot of things. I'll probably talk more about what's going on with my makeup at some point as well, but I'm kind of just rambling at this point. But we'll get better at that. I never learned how to do my I just learned how to do my makeup from like my siblings. I never really watched like YouTubers do it. Now it's like all over TikTok all the time. But in the past, like that's how I learned how to do my makeup. So I probably been doing everything wrong. But honestly, I don't really care. Also, this is the first time I've ever had a pencil sharpener for my eyebrow pencil. I cannot tell you how many eyebrow pencils I've wasted because I just thought that they were gone. I thought it was only like lip liners that like people sharpened. You're like, this girl did research at Harvard. Okay, listen. I had my priorities, okay? So now you might wonder, well, now Allie, you have a degree. What the frick are you gonna do with it? I don't know. I can't put it up in my stringing room. Like I don't know what to do with it. But I do have a degree. I have a biochem degree. I don't know what the heck I'm going to do with it. I could use it if I need to. It does give me a lot of sense of security that like I think that a lot of like streamers that like did not go to school like might struggle with, you know, if this doesn't work out or stuff. But like I've really tried to like not put a lot of pressure on streaming, because really as long as I can pay my rent, then like I'll be fine. I can always do other things. I can always get a side job. I can always do that. As long as I'm paying my rent for now, I'm fine. I'm just trying to live my life, have experiences while I'm young. But that's why I'm so grateful to have like streaming be my job. It's stressful. It's a lot of pressure. It feels like you need to be way more consistent than people talk about. But at the same time, I'm very lucky. I love getting to do what I do. Yes, sometimes I'm lonely. It's really hard to make friends, which part of this whole journey of me doing YouTube and trying to figure out hobbies and stuff, hopefully I'll find friends doing these things. But at the end of the day, in general, I'm very, very happy and very lucky. And obviously, it comes and goes. I'm a human. I still have problems with feeding myself, which that was just like the worst thing. Moving out and having to feed yourself is like the worst adult thing ever. That might just be my opinion, but I'm pretty sure it's a pretty widely accepted opinion because I literally hate it. Also, sorry if you guys hate this. Close your eyes for a second. I'll tell you when I'm done. I don't know why people get so freaked out when I do this, and I don't know if it's just boys and when I'm doing it on stream, people like freak out when I curl my eyelashes, but it doesn't hurt. But also, guys get freaked out when you like pluck your eyebrows, so I'm almost done. But like, I don't do a lot to get ready. So these things are probably going to be more me rambling about stories and things, but that is what I want to do. If you do have any ideas, let me know, or feedback. Like, if you watch this and you have feedback, please just tell me, because this can only get better. You know, you gotta start somewhere. But I don't want to throw myself into too many things at once, but like if it's something that I enjoy in my chat, for example, or like subscribers in like this case, like enjoy, then I'm gonna like do it 100%. That's one thing about me that I've always done. I don't do a lot, but when I do something, I do. Okay. When I do decide to do something, I do it like 110%. I work my ass off. Streaming is not a hard job. It is if you are really passionate. If you want to succeed and you want to make good content and consistently make good content, it is a hard job. You have to sit in front of people and be, for me, I'm just myself. A lot of people portray a character of themselves like when they stream, but like I simply could not do that. Like that is like so much work. Like that's exhausting. So I couldn't do that, but those streamers, like, I don't know how those streamers do it. It's quite impressive. But I'm thankful that I just get to be myself. And this is just an extension of it. And hopefully more of the other topics will be funnier. This is just kind of like an intro to like what's going to be happening here. But you guys know I have some funny stories. There's been some scary things that have happened to me. Scary funny and scary like what the frick is going on here stories. Like don't worry, we'll get into all of that. Like the time that I ran from the cops. Can I even tell those stories? But I've been through a lot, done a lot, and I'm excited to share it. I don't know where my hairbrush is. Shocker. I'm not like the other girls, so I don't brush my hair. Okay. But anything you guys want to hear, relationship stuff, like all the past trauma that's happened to me. I was state champion in volleyball. Those are a lot of stories. That was very traumatizing as well. My volleyball coach was quite the individual. I have 5 siblings, so all of my family conversations are quite interesting. Me and my friends, we would just run around the town. My high school stories are quite interesting. But then also, like, my feelings about becoming a streamer and being thrown into, like, TwitchCon and ALGS and playing in Rivals and everything that's been happening to me and, like, how I feel about how everyone acts. Like, I'm spilling the tea. I'm here. Ask all the questions you want. I'll tell them. So one thing about me is I'm pretty blunt. Pretty blunt over here. I'm blunt because I want real and genuine relationships, friendships, and that's really hard, especially when your job is online. But I'm not gonna apologize for being myself. And honestly, if you don't want me to talk about something that you did, like if something comes up and I talk about it, obviously I'm not gonna name names and stuff, but if I talk about something and you're upset at me for talking about it, like, you probably shouldn't have done the thing that you're upset that I talked about. So, like, maybe be a better person. I'm just kidding. This isn't gonna be a whole gossip thing. That's not the point of this. But if something comes up, like, I'll tell, But I don't really know how to end these. This intro and this exit are, like, really great. I guess, like, I'll call you guys later. I feel like I'm on FaceTime right now. I'll call you later.